Thank you. Thank you, Pak.
Can we start, Pak Ahmad?
Sure, Ibu. Yep.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us in the Meet the Authors today. So we are here in Ibu Maria Rahazin. I don't know if Ibu Maria would like to be Ibu. Maria Rahazin is, hi.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, this is both of you, yeah? Not a mirror image, right?
No, two people.
So are you from the same place or you are from online? Okay. Yeah, you are side by side. My
We're
God.
we're side by side.
Yeah, so for others who are not familiar with these two ladies, these ladies are the E News Asia host, right? And Maria is actually the Miss Indonesia in 2014, right?
Yes.
And then also Elizabeth, you have achieved a lot as well. You also won the Tresemme competition, right? Yes, I read the book. So maybe, you did cover the New York Fashion Week, right?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Okay,
in
yes.
2016.
So for everybody, this is Maria and Elizabeth Rahajam. They are identical twins.
Hello, everyone. Hi, thank you so much for having us in your annual book week.
Yeah.
We're very happy to be here and to
Okay,
talk to you today.
To briefly explain our guests, let me read their background. So Elizabeth and Maria Rahajeng are twin sisters who are both established fashion and lifestyle content creators, TV hosts for E! News Asia, and also authors of the book Becoming Unstoppable. Their missions has always been to use their platform to spread messages of positivity, equality, love, hope, and overall wellness. Yeah. So I read the book, um, to be honest, just last night.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's
Hope you
been,
enjoyed it. We
yeah,
hope that you enjoyed
it's a
it.
page, it's a page turner. I have to admit that fashion is not in my area. So, but I when I read through your book, what I really interested to learn more is about how you started off as the whole family.
Hmm.
So I think I see it as more of the journey of the whole
Yeah.
family to make it in this world, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe you can explain first, what is, I know that in the story you were raised in US since 3 years
Mhm.
old, right? And then you returned to Indonesia at the end of grade 8, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So
Correct.
when I read that background, I see that the culture, the culture differences that you had when you first returned back to Indonesia is almost similar to many of our students here. Yes. So that's why I would like to start off from that point, from that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so how did you see the difference in culture compared to the US and Indonesia when you returned after, at the age of 14, in the eye of 14 years old kid? What was the
Mhm.
first thing that you noticed when you first returned to Indonesia?
Well, yeah, it was a huge change. Our lives changed overnight. And to be honest, we didn't know much about the country, except that, we did eat a lot of Indonesian food, and our parents spoke the language obviously at home. But other than that, we didn't really know what to expect. So when we came here, it was such a culture shock for sure. And it took a long time for us to get used to. A lot of adaptation as well. Especially when we were in high school, we're at that age where we're 14 years old and 13 going to 14, and we were taken away from all of our friends. our environment, everything that we knew, completely to a different culture. And it was a lot of culture shock. We dealt with a lot of challenges when we first moved here, for sure.
The school,
The
that
school
was
system,
the first thing. The
different
curriculum.
yeah.
Now we had to wear uniforms. Like, we never worn uniforms before. So that was a huge change. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, what is this? Now I have to wear the same thing every single day. And then like, for us in the US, I think it was that time when we started to wear makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And we were the only girls who wore makeup to the school, and everyone thought we were so weird, and we didn't know what we were doing wrong. But
It was a lot of learning and
yeah,
adapting.
we were like
Oh,
fish out of water.
But yeah, we didn't have a lot of friends, when we came
No,
here.
we didn't have any friends.
We also dealt with, struggles with school and adapting to a new curriculum and making friends, and also
Yeah.
bullying. And,
Ah,
that definitely affected our mental health. So it was a lot. We
It was a
had
lot
to
to
deal
take.
with a lot. Yeah.
okay. So throughout those experiences, what do you think that helped you the most to get through all those struggles? What factors from within yourself and maybe perhaps someone in your community that support you to get through all those hardships?
Well, it helped that we had each other. That definitely helped, to have a friend, to have someone who knew exactly what you were going through. I don't know what it would have been like if I didn't have Maria with me. It would have been 10 times harder. Our parents supported us, obviously, but it was just it was a very, very difficult period, and we had to kind of just tell ourselves, you can get through this. I
Mhm.
know it's a really difficult time, especially when you're 13 years old, and it's already difficult enough being a teenager, but then you're thrown into this new environment where there's so much pressure, and you are feeling so many emotions. Like, for
Mm,
me, I was feeling angry, I was feeling confused, I was feeling helpless, and I also wrote in the book about how I experienced depression,
yes, yes, you
and
did.
that was also very difficult for me. I was filled
Mhm.
with shame. I
Mhm.
didn't tell anyone about my experiences or the feelings that I was going through. I didn't even tell Maria about what I was going through,
Mm.
because I was
Oh,
so like, I didn't know how to handle it.
You didn't know how to communicate it, I
I
guess.
didn't know how to communicate it, and plus
mm,
I was feeling that shame as well. I was feeling that stigma, like something was wrong with me and that I should just deal with it on my own.
mm.
Um,
Which is why we think that mental health is such an important topic
Yes,
for the younger generation to be more open about and to feel more comfortable in expressing themselves.
yes.
Because, like what we went through, we might have gone through such, like what Elizabeth went through with her depression. She didn't tell anyone because she felt shameful and she didn't know how to communicate that because it was a taboo topic.
but
And
teenage depression is so much more common than you think, and I don't think that people realize that.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
in front of you that seems to be happy and calm and
positive.
positive all the time. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, what I like about in the part when you share your stories, you also share what others can do, right? When
Yes,
dealing with people with depression. And I guess it's
exactly.
about acknowledging how they feel is the first step, right?
Hmm.
So I appreciate that from the book. And so from all those experience throughout high school, um, how does those experience shape as the person that you are
It definitely completely shaped us. We've learned so many lessons throughout high school and our formative years that
We've
we
taken into our adulthood.
yes, for sure. And I think one of the things that we learned during those high school years was finding our voice,
Mm.
and having strength in our voice and not being afraid to use our voice. And one of the examples that I wrote in the book is when we had to choose what we wanted to study in
Yes,
university.
yes, that's right.
And, stepping up to our father because he wanted us to be a doctor or a lawyer. And he literally said, you only have two choices, and that's it, And we decided to speak up and say no. And that was really scary because we didn't want to go against our dad. We didn't want to
Disappoint him.
yeah, like every child
It's very common in an Asian household, right?
yeah.
In
Yeah,
Indonesian
exactly,
household.
exactly.
If you
Yeah.
don't want the same things as your parents, then there's clash and you want to avoid that clash. You want to avoid that disappointment. But
Hmm.
there comes a point in your life where you have to stand up for yourself and
Yes,
you
that's
have
right.
to really voice what you feel is right for you because nobody
Yeah,
else knows that.
yeah.
And
So yeah,
during that
yeah.
time, we really experienced that. That was one of the things that really that we learned. It was to use our voice, even though
Mhm.
it was against our dad's wishes.
Yeah, I think that experience also is relatable to many of our students nowadays.
I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of students
So may and
have
perhaps
have
from the
gone through those
audience.
tough conversations.
Exactly. So maybe from the audience, if you do have questions, you can prepare questions. Later, we'll have Q&A after this. Perhaps you would like to know more. But I guess you decided, both of you decided to do fashion, right? Decided, both of you, to pursue fashion, and you talked to your dad, to it, right? Of course, yeah, I know it must be difficult because I read the book that
Uh-huh.
your father is really a tough person,
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
He was
And
very
so
strict with us growing up and very tough. And I mean, we knew that he just wanted the best for us, as
mm,
any parent wants. They want their child to have the best
To
opportunities in life and to
succeed, to have
succeed.
financial security, and in their minds, they have a plan. They already have a plan for their daughter or for their son from a very, very young age. You're going to do this. You're going to make this amount of money and you're going to be financially secure. And sometimes that's it's not the way it goes.
mm,
Sometimes you have to let your kids kind of find their own path. And it was also a huge learning experience for him. Um, you know, b- Before he didn't really believe in us. He didn't understand what our
Our
dreams and
passions
our
and our dreams.
aspirations.
yes, yes,
But
yes.
now looking back, it's great because he'll have these conversations with us, and he'll say, you know what, I'm happy that you stood up to me and that you really stood your ground because now as a parent I realize sometimes you have to let go of control
And you
a
have to
little bit
have,
and you have to have a little bit of faith in your child and trust that they know what is best for them.
Yeah, yeah. I will. We hope two whole parents are here, but unfortunately, most of them are kids here. So perhaps I guess what I take from what you said earlier is all about communication, isn't it? It's a positive communication,
Mm-hmm.
finding the
yes.
win-win solution, right? So you let your dad to get to know what you are going through, right? So that I think your dad did ask to visit some school for you to try out, right? When you decided to go to the fashion, I see that in the book, your father decided, okay, let's see what's in store for you in fashion. So that is
Yeah.
really admirable because it's not easy as parents, to be
Mm-hmm.
open-minded. And
It's not.
what I like about the relationship between you and your parents is that even though your father is tough and ambitious and resilient, but he also opened up to their children. I guess
Yeah, I
I
think
will finish.
I think we have to thank our mother for that. She's
I
the
agree.
one
I
who
agree. I
convinced him,
agree.
I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to thank her.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
give credit to our mom.
moving on to your university life. I see that you both are graduating cum laude. That's really congratulations. It was
Thank
really
you. Thank
a
you.
stepping stone for you to go to your dreams, right? So the challenge is after the uni, isn't it? How do
Mhm.
you maintain your focus on chasing your dreams? How would you focus? I know there's so many things that may be the obstacle to reach your
Mhm.
dream. So how would
Yes.
you maintain that focus?
Yeah. So after graduation was for me in particular a big struggle. I think I found a lot of success during university because I had found um, the right equation. If I do this, then I get good grades, then I succeed. And I found it already. But then after university, it's a whole new world. It's so different, and I really struggled to, first of all, decide, okay, what did I want to do with my life? Um, and how do I achieve that? And so in the book, I write about how I failed a lot, actually. I decided to go one path, which was in marketing, fashion marketing, and then I decided that wasn't for me. I failed at that, and then I did something else, and I failed at that. So I was still very driven, but I went through a lot of failures, which was very important. Um, I think for anyone to go through. Failure to me is just an opportunity for redirection to go through to go to another path.
Mhm.
And I think um, it was so important for me to fail. A lot of people want to avoid failure or are so afraid of failing. And I always tell young people to do not be afraid of failing.
Yeah.
And that failure will actually help you to actually go where you want to go and to be who
Where
you're
you're
meant to be.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Okay.
yeah, so I went through all those ups and downs, and then I finally found the one thing I wanted to do. And I realized that, I wouldn't change any of those ups and downs. And I think it
Mm.
goes the same thing for Maria.
Yeah, so speaking about failing and failures, I think what I um, learned the most throughout university was try and fail, but never fail to try. So the most
Mm.
important thing is trying new things. So in universities, one of the things that completely changed the course of my life was when I tried for Miss UPH. And this was, pageant in level of
Mhm.
university. And I never thought in a million years that I would ever join the pageant world. And here I was in university, and there was, Miss Upaha, and Elizabeth actually was the one who told me to join. And at first, I didn't want to join because it was out of my comfort zone. I was
Maria is
scared to
very
fail.
shy. She's very reserved.
Yeah,
She's
I was
not
not very
very
outspoken.
outgoing or
Um,
outspoken.
so that it really taught me a lot. And at the end of the day, I tried it out, and I realized my other potential that I have. And I realized, like, oh, maybe I am good at this, and I do enjoy this, and it's a different aspect of me that I never knew before. And joining Miss Upaha led me to joining Miss Indonesia, and that was another completely incredible journey that really,
Would not have happened if you didn't push yourself.
yeah, it would never have happened if I didn't try
Go
new
out of your
things.
comfort zone.
And which is why we always tell young people as well to try as many new things as possible, because you literally never know where it's going to get you. You literally
Mm.
never know where that experience, what you're going to learn from that experience,
Or who
whether,
you're going to meet.
yeah, whether you fail or you succeed, that's all part of the journey. And the most important thing is that you try.
Mhm. Yeah, that leads to, it's like as you were saying. I mean, if you hadn't tried and failed, you wouldn't know
Mhm.
what it's like for you, right?
Exactly.
And one of the journey is has led you to reach landed a job as the first Indonesian E-News Asia host. Congratulations. You are
Yes,
the
thank
first
you.
Thank
Indonesian,
you.
and this has brought attention to Indonesia, right? So E-News has been covering other than Indonesia before, and then you
Yes.
are the first host that, brought this, um, brought this attention to Indonesia, how what's going on here. And so we appreciate
That
that.
was a journey. That was also a journey.
Yeah,
And also, yeah,
that
so I
was
was saying,
not
sorry. Uh-huh. Yeah,
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 I'm
yeah,
sorry.
continue. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that was something that was not just handed to us. We had to really work hard for it. And
Mhm.
it was something that at first, there was no door to it. We had to
Mm.
create our own path and we had to make our own door for it. And that's something that I tell people if you don't see a path towards your goal, or if someone has never done it before, it doesn't mean that it cannot be done. You
Mm.
just have to make your own way, your own door, your own path. So yeah, that happened in 2016 when I first went to New York Fashion Week, and coincidentally the media partner was eNews Asia, and that's when I first had a taste of TV hosting. And I thought to myself, this is something that I could really see myself doing. But I didn't know if there were any, auditions or any positions available for being a host. But I didn't let that stop me. I did my research. I kept in contact with the team, with the producers, with the directors, and I told them, straight away that I'm interested in this. What can I do? What do I have to do? And they told me, A, B, and C, you have to do this and this and this. But, actually, we don't have any auditions right now. We don't have any positions available. But I didn't stop there. I didn't take no for an answer. And then, it was months of just talking and interviewing and waiting and pleading my case. And then one day they called us up, both of us, and said, okay, we'll give you an audition. You have one chance. Come to Singapore and we'll see how you both perform in front of the camera and how you interview people, all that. And, the rest is history. That was it.
Yeah. So yeah, throughout that journey, you mentioned about people saying, "Oh, you're so lucky," and you said that's not correct,
Yeah.
right? And you mentioned about luck is opportunity makes preparation. That's an
Yes.
interesting saying. Can you explain to the rest here? What do you think? What do you mean by luck? Opportunity makes preparation.
Yeah. Luck is just when you are given an opportunity and you are not prepared for it, it's not going to work.
Mm,
So you have to make sure that you are prepared for any opportunity that comes your way, that you are ready to take it, and that you are ready mentally to achieve it,
mm,
right? Because if you are not ready, then the opportunity is gonna pass you by.
I see. Yeah, yeah,
So
I
you have
agree.
to be alert, and
Hmm.
you have to um, just just be aware, of the opportunities around you,
Yeah.
of what's available around you. I don't think that I would have gotten where I am today if I wasn't prepared, if I didn't do my research, if I wasn't professional, if I wasn't aware of, the opportunities around me. So that's what I mean.
And it's also important to have that attitude of take no for an answer.
Never take no.
Never take no for an answer. It's what happened with Elizabeth and the E News producers as well. She went up to them and she heard an answer that she didn't like, and she didn't take no for an answer, and she kept on going, and that's where it all came from.
That's really inspiring. I mean, because I think what I also see from, okay, for others, if you like to know more detail the experience, how they, the whole experience, you should read the book, right? So it's
Yes.
already 11:02. So perhaps if there are some questions, maybe from students or teachers, for those students who ask a question, you can get the book, Becoming Unstoppable. I think in this book also you give advice on how to start your blog in social media, right? How to
Yeah.
develop your social media. Okay, so if you have questions, just drop it in the chat. Okay, so while waiting for that, one thing that I also learned from your book is that you have to bring values. You have to have a certain values to bring in your platform. It's just not any kinds of random stuff that you put in your blog. So can you share with us what are the core values that has led you to this path?
So, yes, Elizabeth and I have a platform that we're
Mhm.
so grateful for on social media that we connect with so many people, not only in Indonesia, but around the world as well. And we've always wanted to use our platform to champion different issues and different,
That we believe in.
yes, different issues that
Yeah.
we believe in, such as women empowerment and equality and self love and mental health. These
The
are all.
celebration of dreams and hopes, and having an unstoppable spirit is also a huge part of that.
Yes, and these are all the messages that we hope we convey on our platforms because it's really important to us, especially for the younger generation, especially for young girls growing up in Indonesia. You know, we hope that they can see our platform and be inspired by it and hopefully dream bigger,
Aim
you know,
higher.
and aim higher. And
To
one of
know
the
that it's possible for them, that it's possible.
one of the things that I loved about our book is that it gave us a platform to be vulnerable with our readers, and it really helped us to change our adversity into strength. I think a lot of people they think being vulnerable is a weakness, but I think a really it's a strength to be vulnerable and to show people your true colors and where you've been through and
Your
what you've been through,
imperfections.
your imperfections. You know, a lot of people they might look
Look
at our
look at our
Instagram and
Instagrams.
say,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, you have the perfect life," or
Life is so easy for
it's
you.
so easy, but it's not. You know, we also go through a lot of struggles on a daily basis as well, a lot of insecurities, just like everybody else. But it's from that place of vulnerability where I think
Mhm.
people can relate to,
Yeah,
can
yeah,
relate with.
yeah. I guess like any successful people, they have gone through the hardship, right? And I think what I admired that from both of you that you've been through a lot. Culture differences has put you through a lot of hardship, particularly during teenage years. But you push through anyway, right? And one of your favorite, unfavorite subjects, the least favorite subject is math, right? And Bahasa.
We don't have any math skills or talent. We
But
don't.
you went
But
through it, right?
it's funny because our grandfather, he was a math teacher,
Okay.
and our mother
Aunt.
and our aunt,
They
they
love math.
yes.
They're so good at math.
So that didn't was not
Was not
passed
passed
down
down
to
to us.
us for sure.
Yeah.
That was not.
Yeah, because in that book I remember you are cramming because you did not cram because I remember in the story you said that you have to face one at a time, right, in year nine.
Yeah.
And then you said that okay, I have to go through it. And what I admire is that you worked so hard for months for that. So it's not you're craving for one night test. You deal with this with that better than you know avoiding it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
and that could be a struggling time. And I guess most students here also face the similar issues here. Juggling with a lot of stuff here. So maybe this will might be my questions. Last question here. What would be the advice to younger self when you because now you're here, you learn your lesson, you have your wisdom and values. What would you say to yourself, younger self, when you first landed here in Indonesia at 13 years old? What would you say to them?
I think looking back for me personally, when I first
moved here and I was like so sad and I was super stressed with school and everything and was just asking myself like where am I going? Like what am I going to do? I think I would say to myself, trust the process.
Okay.
Everything is going to work out. Trust the process and keep on moving forward one because you have two choices in life. It's either to just sulk
Complain.
and complain and be angry, or you can change your mindset, change your attitude, and
Adapt.
move forward.
Adapt.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, for me, similarly, I would say don't let fear stop you. A lot of the times, fear is really, people feel it and they can't do anything. They're paralyzed, right? But fear does not mean stop. And actually, it's so powerful when you feel fear and you take action. And it's so powerful when you can do that, when you can feel the fear and do something anyway and move forward anyway. And then the other thing would be at 16, 17, 18 years old, it's completely okay to not have everything figured out. It's completely okay. I think when I was 16,
There's a lot of pressure, right?
a lot of pressure to be like, okay, who are you going to be? What are you going to do with your life at 16 years old? And you need to have the answer. And for me, in our household, I had that pressure every day from my father.
We had that pressure. Yes.
I had to know. He would have these daily talks with us, like, who are you going to be? What are you going to do?
What are you going to do with your life?
What are you going to do with your life at 16? And I realized, like it's so impossible to know the answer to that when you're so young and you have your entire life ahead of you.
Yeah.
And as humans, as people, we're constantly evolving. We're constantly learning about ourselves. And that only happens with experience and as you get older, And so I want to tell my 16-year-old self
and everyone here
and everybody
as well.
and all the students here that, it's okay to not have everything figured out. It's okay. You will, the process of becoming you is a process that takes time.
And it's still happening.
And it's still happening every single day. So I want you to take a little bit pressure off of yourself and, and understand that it's never too late to find out who you are or what you're going to be. And, you see so many successful people start their own business when they're 30 or when they're 40 or when they're 50. It doesn't always have to start at 16. So it's okay. Cool down, take a little bit of pressure off of yourself and breathe because it will happen eventually.
Thank you so much, ladies. Your words of wisdom are so, refreshing because I know kids, the last thing they want to hear is from their teachers. Okay, so anybody from the audience, any questions? Or maybe perhaps teachers who are joining us, perhaps you have questions about Maria and Elizabeth. You will have free book two. We have giveaway two books of Maria.
Nice.
I like this book because at the end you also share about your branding strategies at the back here, and at the end, which is really nice because it ends the book perfectly. And you also share your family's pictures, the ladies in your life, right?
Yes, the women who raised us.
I know your mom, your grandma, yeah,
our aunt,
I think what I also see from your family. I think family values is so important, and I see that even when your parents studied out in U.S. the first time, the driving force for your dad is the family, and I admire that. So send my regards to your parents. I would love to speak to your mom actually.
Yeah, we should get our mom on here
and our dad as well.
And our dad.
He has a lot to say.
Yes,
I'm sure he has a lot to say.
I mentioned this morning with Bu Helena, and we have to have an interview with the mom.
Yes,
You know,
she would love that.
Okay, so I think it's almost time for class. So I will just end this. Thank you so much, ladies. I hope that
Thank you so much for
um,
having us.
yeah, I mean, your sharing is so refreshing for everybody here. Oh, there's a question
Oh,
from
Oh,
Priscilla. Okay.
yay.
Yes,
Good
Priscilla, you may ask
question.
a question. Yeah, you can unmute
can
yourself.
I just say it because it's hard to
Yeah,
like
yeah, sure,
type
sure.
the question?
Oh, yes, you can type the
Yes,
question.
but hi.
Sure. Okay.
Uh, so hi, I'm from 12, and I want to ask. Right
Mm-hmm.
now I'm like 12, and I'm like studying for like university applications and like
Hmm.
for school exams. And at the same time, I also have like a part-time job, and I'm also managing a band. Like, do you have any tips to like
Wow.
kind of juggle those things?
Can you repeat the question again, Priscilla? I think you're breaking up there. Or maybe you
Do
can put in the chat. So you are writing an application for university at the
do
same
you
time
have any
as well.
tips to kind of like juggle with studies and work?
Okay, okay.
Wow. You are going through so much. You're juggling so much with studying, applications, you're
And your
managing a
band.
band and
Mm.
work. That's so crazy. Wow. Um, that's incredible, Priscilla. Well, props to you, first of all, for juggling all of that. That's so great. But I would advise you to not take too much on. Please know your limit, because sometimes we think we can do so many things and we get so caught up in our work and things get so chaotic. But remind yourself that you also need time to rest. That
Mm.
rest is really important.
That you are a priority as well.
That your mental health is a priority as well. And that includes enough rest, enough sleep. I hope you're getting enough sleep.
But as long as you feel like, okay, I can handle this and I am handling it with enough attention, I am handling every task equally and with enough energy. As long as you feel like you're juggling that in a healthy way, then that's good for you.
Then that's okay. But like, have an honest question with yourself. Is this too much? Like, do you have too much on your plate? Just like take a second and think, okay, is this too much for me? Or is there something that I can maybe um, not have on my plate right now? Uh, what do you think? How are you feeling, Priscilla, right now? Are you feeling overwhelmed?
Yes, Priscilla. Mm.
Okay, a little overwhelmed,
But I got
but I got
this.
this. Okay, if you enjoy what you do, then that's great. That is wonderful.
I feel like I can relate to you as well because a lot of times I have so many projects going on. I feel like, okay, I got this, but I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. But then at the same time, I feel like maybe I should, next time, maybe I shouldn't take as many projects because, yeah, maybe I shouldn't take on as many projects because at the end of the day, my mental health is such an important thing for me.
Mm.
And I need to be honest with myself and ask myself, um, you know, is this a burden for me? I know that I can do it, but I need this rest. I need to find this peace within myself. And, um, I do enjoy what I do, but I think it's healthier for me if I don't take on as many projects. So just know your limit.
Okay. Yes. Well, I hate to end this, but I think the bell has rung. Okay. I hope that is helpful, Priscilla. So essentially just know your limit, right? And prioritize yourself. And at the end of the day, you have to be 100% for yourself. Yeah. So
Yes,
thank you so much, ladies, for sharing.
absolutely.
And so maybe
Thank
next
you
time
so
we'll meet
much.
again. Okay. Good luck
Yes.
in your career. So I hope to see you more out there. Okay.
Thank you. Good luck
Stay
to all of the
safe.
students today as well. We hope you learned something today. We hope you enjoyed our conversation. It was so nice to talk to you all. And all the best for
Okay.
your future. All the
Okay.
best for those university enrollments.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Class dismissed. Sorry.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank you, class.
right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Hi.
you.
Okay. Bye bye. So, Daya, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Bu Lily. Bye.
Bu Lili ya. Ellen?
Yes, Pak. Ini di Bu Elsie yang
Iya, recording.
matiin kan nanti?
Bu, si itu Marianya udah keluar langsung ya?
Mm-mm.
Kayak mau bisa something.